What's up, everybody? My name is DJCS, and welcome to the very first episode of Let's Talk. This is going to be a show where I'm going to talk about video games, movies, comics, wrestling, and all things fun and interesting. Today's episode is obviously about the top 10 things needed in Grand Theft Auto 5, pertaining mostly to online. These are all my own opinions of what I feel needs to be added. Maybe you agree, maybe you don't. I'm sure I don't have to tell you this, but feel free to voice your opinion in the comments. Let me know if you agree or disagree, and of course, if you like the video, give it the old thumbs up. You can also hit me up on Twitter at NotYourAverageDJCS. And before we begin, I want to say, I've eliminated anything that has been speculated or rumored to be showing up someday. So no casino, no expansion, and no story mode DLC talk. So let's begin.
Number 10.
This is probably one where I stand alone, but I would like to see animals in the online universe. As sick and twisted as it may sound, there was nothing funnier than driving around and all of a sudden, you got a deer on your hood. Also, if you ever got bored in the game and ventured around the ocean, guilty as charged, you found a pretty amazing underwater world, including normal sharks, hammerhead sharks, dolphins, killer whales, and humpback whales. I personally thought this was pretty awesome. They have the submarine on sale in online, but there's really no point in buying it because there's nothing in the water. They could always make missions about searching the ocean for expensive paintings or missing treasure or whatever.
Number 9.
Crazy weather in Grand Theft Auto Online. We get snow in the wintertime, which is cool, but other than that, it just rains. I have heard thunder and seen flashes of lightning, but they're brief and don't happen often. If you've played story mode, then most likely you've played Trevor's mission called Friends Reunited, where Trevor sneaks into a lost camp and blows up their trailers. The weather during this mission was awesome, and we should have that online, as well as some more hardcore weather. No, I don't mean tornadoes, hurricanes, or earthquakes, though it does take place in California where earthquakes happen a lot. But maybe some torrential downpours or hail or something. There can be an urgent message come from the radio that warns of low visibility or strong winds or something like that. Kind of like the Weasel news updates from story mode.
Number 8.
Cameos from past GTA characters.
Wait, I thought you said you weren't going to talk about rumors or anything speculated.
This is true, but this is something that is teased so much throughout the game, but not necessarily something that they say will happen, like the casino or more story mode. And not as far-fetched and won't require as much coding as an expanded map. From the very first time I heard it was going to take place in Los Santos/San Andreas area, I thought CJ would make a cameo, but he didn't. And numerous times throughout the game there are references to Nico Bellic of GTA 4. This could be something they could do either in online or story mode. Story mode could be that Nico has been hiding out in Los Santos and Lester wants to find him. Online it could be that we start doing work for a Russian and turned out to be Nico. As for CJ, he should have been in the game as an OG, but Rockstar has stated that they would only cameo characters from the HD universe, meaning GTA 4. However, there have been issues in the past with Rockstar and the voice actor for Nico. The voice actor for CJ, Young Melee, the real-life cousin to the voice actor Franklin, has teased involvement in GTA 5, but has since removed or edited tweets at the request of Rockstar.
Number 7.
Purchasable DLCs. I missed the Halloween DLC by a week, and I really wanted the items put out on that event, mainly the Frankenstein and the Albany Lurcher. I unfortunately have to wait till Halloween this year to get them, hopefully. They don't always repeat DLCs and they don't always put out the same stuff. There should be a way to get past DLC content. I know they are exclusive, but maybe like 6 months after the event, they could do like Halloween in April, or do it on like a Friday the 13th or something. Or maybe offer them, but they had to be paid for. I'd be willing to pay about $10 to $15 for a DLC that I missed. And it wouldn't be any different than someone having it now than when people who are newer don't have it. It wouldn't give anybody an extra advantage over anybody else.
Number 6.
More characters from story mode in online. If you don't know, the online universe takes place before the story mode. So maybe Michael is out of the question because he's laying low. But they could do something with Jimmy. He could have us getting him drugs or whatever, and saying things like, his father used to be a big crime boss. Franklin was around committing crimes, and there was also mention of him being involved in races. He wasn't involved in anything lucrative or anything that would necessarily pay out a lot of money, but who knows? Speaking of races, there's also the character Hal, who would contact Franklin about the races. He could be brought in as the owner of a new tuner shop, a shop strictly for tuner cars, kind of like Benny's, where it's almost strictly lowrider vehicles. There is also Tao Chang, and the Triads are possibly his father, Wei Chang. They could hire you for all kinds of things from running drugs or guns to assassinations and destruction of property, or even helping his son escape the police after doing something stupid.
Number 5.
Solo missions and heists. In the video you're seeing, I'm doing the VIP mission Hostile Takeover by myself in an armored Kuruma, which enables me to do a lot of missions solo without getting obliterated by gunfire. If you're like me, you don't like wasting time for people to join to do a heist setup that you could easily go and do yourself. Most missions allow you to choose if you want to do it yourself or if you want to do it with other people. Heists are always a group thing, which causes a lot of problems. Waiting for people to join, people who don't know what they're doing, and don't do their part of the mission. Like when they're assigned to a certain job and you have something else to do, but they're following you for some reason. I was doing the Humane Raid heist, I was flying the helicopter, and my gunner kept jumping out when the other guys jumped out. I told him over the mic, and I sent him a text message to stay in the helicopter, but every time he would jump out and we would fail the mission. These people also usually get killed a lot, causing you to have to start all over. Not everybody cares, I know some people just like to have fun, but I'm playing to make money and rank up, not to play the same mission for an hour.
Some men just want to watch the world burn.
Number 4.
Better hairstyles. As you can see in my pictures here, I have a fairly large mohawk, 12 inches to be exact. I was shocked not to find a mohawk available in the barbershop. Instead, I found a faux hawk and a biker style haircut that's kind of close to a mohawk, but not really. Rockstar says they go by what the current trends are, and that's why they have the hipster theme and stuff like that. They just came out with a new DLC and added 3 new hairstyles, one being a box top fade, and 2 cornrow hairstyles. I'm pretty sure there's more cornrow and braid hairstyles than anything. Can't be too hard to do a mohawk. Ukes has put them in almost every WWE game for as long as I can remember, so please Rockstar, put in a mohawk.
Number 3.
New and better music. Nothing against the current list of music, but what's on there isn't that great. I have listened to every station, but I mostly listen to a rotation of 4 stations. Radio Los Santos Rock Radio, Nonstop Pop, and West Coast Classics. Los Santos Rock Radio is good and all, but it's classic rock. There's a bunch of great artists on there, but not necessarily the songs we know them for, which some people may like. Not everybody likes mainstream music. But when I think of groups like Queen, I don't think of songs like Radio Gaga. I think of We Will Rock You, We Are the Champions, Somebody Love, and Bohemian Rhapsody. I would jam to some Bohemian Rhapsody. Same goes for Journey, Phil Collins, Def Leppard, Foreigner, and a few more. As far as rock goes, I would like to see some more modern rock groups on it, like Disturbed, Korn, Avenged Sevenfold, something from the 90s and up. The other 2 rock stations, Channel X and Vinewood Boulevard, don't really appeal to me. I like some punk bands, but nothing they have on there. And Vinewood Boulevard, I don't know, I just don't care for it. As far as Radio Los Santos goes, there's some good songs on there and there's some terrible songs. Rockstar has taken music out of the game, including Rack City by Tyga and Fucking Problems by A$AP Rocky featuring Drake, 2 Chainz, and Kendrick Lamar. Good songs, and replaced it with songs like Work by Young Scooter featuring Gucci Mane and I Can't Wait by Young Scooter and Trinidad James. Terrible songs. Honestly, I don't care too much for a lot of modern hip-hop. I grew up listening to Big, Pac, Dre, Snoop, and Wu-Tang, so I guess I'd rather hear a station that's like late 90s and early 2000s that features New York artists as well. Even the country station, Rebel Radio. The most recent song on the station is from 1985, 3 decades ago. How about a station that gives us more modern country from the 90s to current, with artists like Garth Brooks, Toby Keith, Shania Twain, Florida Georgia Line, Lady Antebellum, Sugarland, just to name a few. On the GTA forum site, a user by the name Ballistics came up with an idea for a new DLC called Cash, Cars, and Crimes. And in it, he talks about adding 2 new stations, Street Life FM and Shout FM. Street Life features a list of hip-hop and R&B from the 90s and into the new millennium. Lots of great songs on there. And Shout features more modern rock songs that are mostly on the softer ballad side of rock. I would add to this, to make it more diverse in rock, bands like Disturbed, Korn, Nirvana, Limp Bizkit, Avenged Sevenfold, and maybe Five Finger Death Punch. One issue facing this is that Rockstar would have to get the rights to the music, which costs money, and Rockstar doesn't necessarily make money off DLCs because they are given for free. However, a DLC for music would be something I'd be willing to pay for. They could charge like $15 to $20 for it, and it wouldn't give any extra advantage to someone who purchased it versus someone who didn't. There are also the issues with the artist not wanting their music being associated with a violent video game. But I don't think many rappers or rock bands will have a problem with that.
Number 2.
Actual customizable apartments and houses. We got a tease when they said that we could now customize our apartments, only to find out we could pick a theme for our apartments. I've heard other people talk about this and they say, I don't expect to go full Sims with it, but I say screw it. I want to go full Sims with it. I want to be able to choose what kind of couch, TV, bed, kitchen table, speaker systems, paintings on the wall, plants, rugs, floors, wallpaper, everything. Room by room. Make them truly unique, like all the people who play online. I get invites to come to people's apartments or houses all the time, but it's just like, why? All the stilt homes look the same on the inside, and there's a 1 in 7 chance I have the same apartment style as you. Also, add something to do in the apartment other than smoke and watch TV, like darts or pool. Also, in the stilt homes, we should be able to access the back of our house, like the decks and the pools and stuff like that, from the inside of the house without having to go outside the front and then around to the back. Before we get to number 1, I originally had this in my list, but removed it because I feel this will eventually happen. And that's more slots for owned properties. If you're like me, you have a collection of cars. I have a garage for each type of vehicle, one for super and tuner cars, one for muscle cars, one for trucks, SUVs, and vans, and one for lowriders. And then I have one that I keep my armored crewman in that I use for the specific standard heist. All in all, I have over 40 vehicles, and if need be, I could get rid of my garage with the Kuruma and get another 10-car garage, but I'd like to keep it if I could. The fact is, though, every time Rockstar adds a new DLC, they add new cars. And if people continue to buy these cars, they're going to run out of room.
Number 1.
Better car customization. If you don't know, Rockstar made a game called Midnight Club Dub Edition, and the car customization was awesome for the PlayStation 2. They had color tinted windows, including mirror and frost tint. They had two-tone fade paint jobs where the front would be one color and the back would be another, and it would fade in the middle. And they also had fade jobs from top to bottom. They had a ton of awesome decals or liveries available. All kinds of crazy rim styles, including spinning rims. Again, this was back on the PS2. Now, modern day cars have LED rims and color changing paint jobs. Just all kinds of crazy, amazing things that Rockstar should implement into the game. And not just to select cars, but all cars. I mentioned earlier doing a tuner garage, and we should also be able to customize trucks and motorcycles. Right now, motorcycles have the least amount of customization in the game. They're pretty pointless to have. I think they should do a 4th of July biker DLC. Make it so we can add some awesome paint jobs to our bikes, add some leather clothing options, new helmets, and tattoos. Throw in a new rock radio station, and add a new hairstyle, including a mohawk. They should also add the use of NOS to cars. In one of the updates for Benny's shop, we modified the Banshee and the Sultan RS. And in the Sultan RS, you can see that there is a NOS tank inside and also NOS switches inside of the car. We should be able to use NOS the same way we use hydraulics by pushing down a button and it works. Now, that doesn't mean it works every time, but maybe it has a reload time of about 5 minutes or something, and can only be used once during a race. Or it should be able to be eliminated during the race during the setup menu. So that's my list of top 10 things needed in GTA. If you liked it, hit the like button and share it with your friends. The game's been out for 3 years, and it could be another 3 years before we get a new GTA game. I know Rockstar doesn't make much off of DLCs, but they're continuously putting them out. If they do half of what's on this list, I'd be happy. I'm DJ CS, thanks for watching.